Okay, Tristan. Are you ready to do this video?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Okay, so go.
Story time!
Okay, so I'm going to tell you a story from the Bible. Okay? And tell me what you think about it.
I appreciate it for your present.
Okay, so this is the story. There were 3 boys. One is called Shadrach, the other was called Meshach, and the other is called Abednego.
Abednego?
Yep.
What Abednego means?
I actually don't know the meaning. Do you want us to find the meaning?
That is right there.
I can look it up right now and I'll tell you.
For Jesus, for God?
Yeah, for Jesus.
No, he died on the cross for our sins.
Jesus did die on the cross for our sins.
But
Okay.
he can't die because he loves us.
Yes. And that's why he came back from the grave.
That because someone was naughty today. Someone who was naughty to Jesus. That's why he's dying on the cross for his sins.
So Abednego means servant of Nebo.
No, Abednego.
Okay. So you remember the names of the 3 boys? Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Okay, so the 3 of them, they love Jesus, so they only want to worship Jesus.
No, I love Jesus.
I know, but the 3 boys also love Jesus.
But the 4 girls didn't like Jesus.
Yes, but those are different people. But this is a different story. Let me finish telling you.
But two angels fly away. But there was 10 angels.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
But there is only 1 angel in your face.
So can I finish telling you the story about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego?
But there is 2 angels.
Okay. Can I finish telling you the story? Okay. So the 3 of them, they loved Jesus, and they were serving a king. His name is Nebuchadnezzar.
Nebuchadnezzar?
Yeah.
Who's Nebuchadnezzar?
He's the king of Babylon.
Babylon?
Babylon.
Why?
That's the name of his city. That's the name of his town.
And he's bad.
He's very bad. Well, he's good and bad.
But he's not good. He's bad.
Well, in this story, he is. Because the 3 boys...
Jesus is the king of the world.
He is. So remember how I told you the 3 boys, they love Jesus? Huh?
Mm-hmm.
Remember that? Okay, so the 3 of them that love Jesus, the king wanted them to worship him and not Jesus.
Jesus had to do that.
Yeah, you only have to worship Jesus. You don't worship anybody else.
Okay.
So because the king wanted them to worship Jesus, the 3 boys said, if this is the only thing you want us to do, then we are not going to worship you. We are only going to worship Jesus.
Wow.
Exactly. So they made the right thing.
If we worship Jesus and the king, that wouldn't be good.
Exactly. So that's why they didn't listen to the king.
Daddy, if we wish to with Jesus and the king, we're gonna go to jail.
If we worship the king, yes, we'll go to jail. But
But we are at home. But if we are good to Jesus, we wouldn't go to jail.
Exactly. Okay, so when the 3 boys said they're not going to worship the king, do you know what the king did?
Yeah, he died.
No, because the king got angry at the 3 boys, and then he decided to put them in the fire.
Why?
Because they said they wouldn't worship the king. They said they would only worship Jesus.
They will.
Yeah, they're not going to worship the Nebuchadnezzar. They would only worship Jesus.
Yeah.
Exactly. So because they said no to the king and chose to worship Jesus, he put them in the fire.
Oh, that was very good.
Yeah, but do you think they burned?
Yeah.
No, that's the beautiful thing. Do you know what happened?
Yeah.
Because they chose not to worship the king and the king put them in the fire, do you know what happened?
Yeah.
Jesus was in the fire with them.
Why?
Because he didn't want them to burn, because they chose to do what Jesus wanted.
If Jesus is in the fire, he will burn.
He didn't burn. Jesus is stronger than the fire.
He's gonna step on it?
Yeah, he basically did. He was in the fire and he was dancing in the fire with the 3 boys. So the fire didn't burn them.
So if he dances in the fire, we're gonna be happy.
We wouldn't be burned.
If we in the fire and put our leg in there, and if we put our feet in there, we will burn.
We won't burn. If you have Jesus, you won't burn.
If I don't have Jesus, I will burn.
Yes. So remember how I told you, anytime you see a monster or anything bad that is telling you to do something that Jesus doesn't like, you just yell Jesus and they'll run away.
Okay.
And they'll save you, and Jesus will save you.
Okay.
So you see, so that's what they did. So when they went into the fire, they prayed to Jesus, and Jesus came in the fire, and the fire never burned them anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
They danced in the fire?
Yeah.
Why?
Because Jesus was with them. It couldn't burn them.
If they are not with Jesus, they can burn.
Yes. So do you know what the moral of the story is?
One little kid just went to Jesus into the fire with them. He prayed.
Exactly. And he didn't burn.
Yeah.
See? So do you know what we learned?
Yeah, we learned God.
Exactly. Always do what Jesus wants you to do. If anybody tells you to do something that Jesus doesn't want you to do, say no.
Say why?
Because we want to do what Jesus tells us to do, not what anyone tells us to do.
Say no.
I'll serve Jesus instead of you.
With me?
Yeah, say we'll serve Jesus instead of
I will
whatever
be safe with him.
Yes, you're always going to be safe with Jesus.
And I'm gonna fight the monster with a big ball and throw it at the monster.
With the power of Jesus.
I'm gonna punch them and kick them and punch them away.
High five. You know why you can do that?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I got a lot of power
From who?
from Jesus.
There you go. So why are you going to tell your friends? Because they're going to be watching the video. So why are you going to tell them about Jesus?
Because I have God.
And you're always going to tell your friends, follow Jesus, not people.
Okay.
All right?
But I like people.
I know. You should always like people. But if people are telling you to do something bad that Jesus won't like, you tell them no and do what Jesus tells you.
Okay.
All right? All right. You have anything else you want to tell me?
Yeah, I got love Jesus down in my heart.
Oh, down in my heart. Hey, down in my heart. I got joy, 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 joy down in my heart. Down in my heart today. Yeah. Good job, Tristan. That video was awesome.